Familia, Yorashim Raíces, Dorot Generaciones, Jaime Vida e Israel. Las hojas del árbol son espirales circulares ya que me hicieron pensar en la continuidad de las generaciones que pasaron y las que vendrán. Alrededor del árbol coloqué perlas blancas que vistas desde lejos parecen vacías, pero si miran con atención verán letras muy chiquitas que son las iniciales de los miembros de mi familia que pude rastrear e investigar. También hay perlas azules que representan a mis otros antepasados, algunos que conocí y otros cuyo nombre e historia no logré encontrar. La elección de que sean perlas tiene que ver con que cada uno es muy valioso para mí, para mi familia y para el pueblo de Israel. Por último, como todo árbol, tiene que ser regado para seguir creciendo. Por eso lo digo como legado para que mis futuros hijos y los que nazcan después puedan seguir agregando más perlas.
We want to give a special thanks to Karina Korob for her years of dedication in making My Family a Story a success in Argentina. So now, because we have so many participants from around the world, we want to see how many languages are being represented here in this call today. Please now write in the chat, how do you say thank you in your native language? See some answers coming in from all over the place. Keep writing in. Write in any other languages that you know. How do you say thank you? We have all of these different languages. We see Hebrew and Russian and English and Spanish. We're seeing so many different languages. Incredible. It truly shows the power of how many people are here today. Now we want to give a big toda rabah, or many thanks, which is Hebrew for thanks, to the hundreds of educators that make My Family Story a success each and every year. Now, before we show this next video, if you're in class with your teacher and at your school, or if you're at home, please give a loud cheer if you see your teacher or your school being represented here.
Dos objetivos da área judaica do Colégio Renascença é fortalecer a identidade judaica de nossas famílias e nossos alunos. O projeto do Museu ANO Minha História contribui com a nossa meta.
Uma meta que busca resgatar a história de nossos alunos, a história de vida de cada um, por meio de todo um trabalho que é desenvolvido na sala de aula. Cada um tem um livro que conta toda a história de sua família. O projeto ANO transforma uma parte da memória em algo físico e material.
We are Shiva College of Johannesburg, South Africa. The My Family Story Project means to us family legacy, connection to past, present, future, linking roots, love, commitment to Torah, knowledge, inspiration, responsibility, hope, power of prayer, emunah in Hashem, recipes of life, and Israel. Learning from our history to make a better future. Am Yisrael, creativity, unity. Never again is now. Spread the light, kindness and inclusivity. Bring them home now!
Kia ora, Boker Tov, Shalom. I'm the principal of Kadima School. My name is Sue Meltzer. We're the only Jewish day school in New Zealand. And we're fabulous. We're very privileged to be part of this competition, and we are exceptionally privileged that one of our pupils has done so well in it. This is my wonderful team, and Bao teaches Hebrew and Jewish Studies, Renat teaches Hebrew and Jewish Studies, and Genevieve also teaches Jewish Studies, and we hope to be part of this competition for many, many years to come. Thank you.
My name is Dina Zimbler. I teach at St. Ansana, South Africa. We really enjoyed participating in the My Family Story project. The highlight for our students actually isn't the actual installation itself, but rather the lessons. They find that they learn a lot about themselves, their families, where they come from. What I really enjoy is I, as a teacher, get to see that side of my students that not all teachers get to, and vice versa, my students get to know a little bit more about me and where I come from. So we were really privileged to be part of this project, and we thank you.
שלום, קוראים לי טל גרין, אני מורה לאומנות בבית ספר מגן בתל אביב. מזה מספר שנים בית ספר מגן לוקח חלק בתוכנית של מוזיאון אנו, תוכנית של סיפור משפחתי. אני רוצה לציין את החשיבות של התוכנית הזאת והאפשרות בעצם שניתנת לתלמידים לתלמידים ולתלמידות בשכבת ה'-ו' לקחת חלק בתוכנית לחקור ולגלות את השורשים המשפחתיים שלהם ולהביא אותם לידי ביטוי בצורה אומנותית. תודה.
Buenas. Bueno, somos de la Escuela Viales de Santa Fe. Yo soy la Mara Alex, Mara de sexto grado y de Toindot. Estoy a cargo del proyecto Una Historia Familiar.
Y yo soy Gaby Dolensky, la coordinadora de estudios judaicos, y trabajamos de manera mancomunada en este hermoso proyecto. Este proyecto que nos permite a nosotros y a nuestros estudiantes conectarnos profundamente con las raíces y comprender la rica historia de los antepasados de cada uno de nuestros talmidim. También fomenta un gran sentido de identidad y pertenencia en nuestra comunidad.
Guiar a mis alumnos en este viaje de descubrimiento personal y colectivo es una gran oportunidad para fortalecer los lazos, preservar nuestra herencia cultural y además el proyecto también promueve el respeto por la diversidad y la apreciación de las historias únicas que conforman el tejido de nuestra comunidad.
Desde la escuela estamos profundamente comprometidos en apoyar a nuestros talmidim en la exploración de sus historias familiares y en la creación de un legado que honre a quienes vinieron antes y que inspire a las generaciones futuras.
Bueno, por último, felicitar a nuestro querido talmid, a Santi, que fue el ganador de este hermoso concurso.
Un beso grande y Am Israel Chai.
Shalom, my name's Evie Figdor and I'm from the Jewish Studies Department at Mount Scopus Memorial College in Melbourne, Australia. Our school motto is Chazak ve'ematz, and at this time we wish Am Israel and Medina Israel much strength and much courage. We're also so thrilled to be able to participate in this competition again and to have one of our students as your winners. Toda u'lihitraot.
Hello everyone, my name is Erez Ben-Amit. I'm a grade 6 teacher from Associated Hebrew School in Toronto, Canada. We've been part of my family story project for so many years, and I enjoyed seeing my students so engaged and interested in learning about their family roots, creating magnificent works of art that demonstrated the deep understanding of their family history and of what does it mean to be a Jew, especially nowadays.
Hola, soy Doris Pérez.
Hola, soy Jenny Charabati del Colegio Hebreo Maguen David, México. Este proyecto tiene como finalidad que los alumnos conozcan su historia familiar a través de investigación y entrevistas a sus familiares. El trabajo de Shorashim ayuda a los alumnos a identificarse como judíos. Gracias a que cada generación lo hace, los vemos cómo continúan identificados con valores milenarios de nuestro judaísmo y vemos su capacidad de transmitirlo a las generaciones siguientes.
Es para nosotros un gusto saber que estamos aportando y que podemos cumplir con la transmisión del legado familiar. Así como Hashem le pidió a Moshe transmitirlo de generación en generación, nosotros continuaremos con mucho gusto esta tradición.
Am Israel Chai.
Shalom a todos, desde Madrid, desde el Centro de Estudios Ibn Gavirol. En primer lugar, agradecer al Museo ANO por esta oportunidad, por el premio y por la labor tan importante que hacen. Hace unos instantes le pregunté a mis alumnos qué podría decir hoy aquí. Y es muy interesante lo que ellos dicen, ¿no? En primer lugar, que esto es un camino difícil, buscar las raíces es un camino muy difícil. Este es un proyecto que se debería realizar en todos los colegios, institutos del mundo, sean judíos o no sean judíos, porque todos tenemos raíces. Para nuestro centro es un proyecto realmente importante y los resultados son excelentes. Siempre hay asombro, hay sorpresa y hay mucho descubrimiento. Como judíos, más que nunca, ¿no? Tenemos que saber de dónde venimos y todas las migraciones, todos los cambios que hemos sufrido a lo largo de la historia. Un abrazo desde Madrid y Am Israel Chai.
שמי דבורה עצמון ואני מורה בבית החינוך המשותף חוף השרון. בית ספרנו משתתף בתחרות 29 שנים. במקרים רבים, רק בזכות התוכנית סיפור משפחתי, הנכדים מראיינים את הסבים ומגלים סיפורים חדשים וחשובים. הביאו את סיפוריכם אל מרכז הבמה, היו סקרנים, אל תוותרו. יחד נכתוב את הסיפור של העם היהודי ונעבירו לדורות הבאים. אני מברכת אתכם מירושלים ומאחלת לכולנו שניפגש במוזיאון אנו בשנה הבאה בשלום, בשלווה ובבטחה.
So before we continue on to the next section that we're going to, I must give an incredible thanks to our colleague and friend, Rima Osmanov, who recently retired. So we'll congratulate her and say congratulations. Rima ran the My Family Story program in Europe and the former Soviet Union for over a decade and worked at the museum for nearly 30 years. We're happy that Rima is off in retirement. We miss her very much, and we thank her for the years of contribution to My Family Story here at the museum. Now we're going to our next synagogue, but before we get there, I want everybody now to take the chat again. I want everybody to write in the chat, who is your favorite superhero? I'm going to get to why I'm asking that. Now take a look at the synagogue I'm standing next to right now. Do you recognize it? Write it in the chat. Give a guess. It's okay if you're wrong. The synagogue I'm standing in front of right now is the oldest still in operation synagogue in Europe with a very unique tale. Yes, that's right. This is the Alt Neue Schule in Prague, the Czech Republic. This synagogue was completed in 1270. Now, about that superhero I asked you about. Did you know that this synagogue has its own superhero? The story goes that Rabbi Yudah Lau of Prague created the Golem, a mythical feature out of clay in the 16th century. This Golem was created to defend the Jewish community from anti-Semitic attacks hundreds of years ago. He was our protection. Now, to bring him to life, Rabbi Lau wrote the letters Aleph, Mem, Taf on his head. This spells the Hebrew word emet, or truth. Now, to kill him or to stop him from being active, Rabbi Lau, all he had to do was erase the Aleph off of his name, off of his forehead, and on the Golem's head said the letters Mem and Taf, which in Hebrew means met or dead. Legend tells us that the remains of the Golem still lie somewhere in the attic of the building. He's just there waiting to be reenacted. Now, before I announce the winners for Europe and the former Soviet Union, we want to extend our thanks and appreciation to Mrs. Juanito Edelstein, whose support has allowed My Family Story to thrive in the former Soviet Union. We also want to thank Mrs. Veronica Dvorkin and Mr. Udi Grossman from Hefziba for their years of dedication and partnership in making My Family Story a success in the former Soviet Union. Now we're heading on to the winners from the former Soviet Union and Europe. Ready? First is Lily Kovacs from the religious school of the synagogue community in Cologne, Germany. Next is Mark Sherbakov from the Sunday School of the Jewish Agency in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Next is Eli David Nachmani from the Ort Shalom Aleichem School in Vilnius, Lithuania. Now, in third place for Europe is Victoria Petrunko from the Ort School number 15 in Chernovich, Ukraine. Her project is titled All Life in One Suitcase. In second place from Europe is Emma Tiomkina from the Ort Aleph Lyceum in Zaporizhzhia, Ukraine. Her project is called The Airplane. And in first place for Europe is Ilana and Esti Friedman from the Ort School number 141 in Kiev, Ukraine, a wartime suitcase. Mazal tov to Ilana and Esti.
Hello everyone, my name is Lily Kovacs and I'm from Cologne, Germany. And this is my family project. This project basically symbolizes the worst experience my great-grandparents, who you can see here, have ever experienced. So this is the train with which my great-grandparents got deported to Bergen-Belsen. It says here, next stop Bergen-Belsen. This is my great-grandmother, Katalina Kovac, and this is my great-grandfather, Jerzy Kovac. And as you can hear, they come from Romania. Here in the corner, I have a piece of the list with people that got saved by Kasna. And down here, marked in blue, there are my great-grandfathers and his mothers, and my great-grandmother's names down here. And here, right next to it, there's a certificate because I married in the train. And here's the date and some signatures. Approximately 1 year ago, I started being very interested in my family history. And then at some point in English lesson, we had to hold a 2-minute presentation about a hero. And I chose my great-grandmother because I think it's so inspiring what she's gone through and her story and everything. So that kind of motivated me to start writing a book about her, which I already started, but I kind of paused. But going through history again because of the project really made me want to finish that book. That's it for my family project. I hope you have a nice day. Goodbye.
Thanks again to all of our winning students from the former Soviet Union and Europe. Now, one of the most recent additions to Anu is actually one of the oldest items in our collection. Take a look. Welcome to the Codex Sassoon. One of the oldest objects in our collection here at Anu is actually one of the most recent additions. This codex here arrived in Israel on October 5th, 2023. Now, this is a codex, or Tanakh, the Hebrew Bible. This codex has 24 books that are divided into 3 sections: Torah, Nevi'im, and Ketuvim. There are 794 pages in this codex, in this Tanakh. They tell the story of the creation of the world, the covenant between God and the people of Israel, the story of the birth of the people of Israel, the laws that we all share and have shared for generations, and so much more. What's incredible about this Tanakh, or this codex, is the same words that are written here, that were written 1,100 years ago, are the same words that you and millions of other Jews around the world are still reading today. Now, this codex, like I said, is 1,100 years old. We believe it was written around the 10th century. It is the oldest and most complete Tanakh, or Hebrew Bible, in the entire world. Now, we believe this codex here was written somewhere between the land of Israel, or Eretz Yisrael, and modern-day Syria. For centuries, it passed between synagogue to synagogue, community to community, and family to family. And there are centuries that it went lost. In the last century, it was owned mainly by the Sassoon family, hence the name Codex Sassoon. It was purchased as a gift by our dear friend, Ambassador Alfred Moses, last year, just about 12 months ago. This codex here went on sale at Sotheby's for $38.1 million. It is the most expensive piece of Judaica ever purchased or sold, and the 4th most expensive book in the world today. What does that tell us? This book is crucial and central to the story of the Jewish people, past, present, and future. We can see, if you take a closer look, the words that are written here. But I want you to take a closer look at the page itself. You can see small tears, marks, and stains throughout the book. This is a metaphor for the Jewish people. While this codex, this Tanakh, and the Jewish people have gone through so much over the last 1,100 years, from good to bad, from ups to downs, tears and damages, moving from place to place, we see that even though bad things have happened to us, we take those stories with us. We can see the scars, just like we can see the scars and the repairs here in the book, and we carry that with us, and that is our story today. All of you who participated in my family's story are telling the stories of your family, just like the Codex is telling the story of us, the Jewish people. We highlight the goods and the bads, the ups and the downs, just like you have in your family, we see in the larger Jewish family over the last few millennia. Now, take a closer look at the Codex again. I wonder if you take a close look at the words that are printed here, if you can figure out which page we're on. If you can figure it out, write in the chat now. Now, like I said, this is the oldest and most complete Tanakh in the world. 92% of it is here, which is incredible. We have saved this codex, this Tanakh, so closely within our communities and synagogues and stories of the Jewish people because it is central to who we are. It is at the base of our people. Here at Anu, it's literally in the heart or the center of the museum, right at the core. Now, we believe that this codex belongs to the entire Jewish people, not just one family or one institution. It is open to the public here, and we invite everybody, wherever you're coming from, whether that's the United States, Chile, France, or here, right here in Israel, we invite everybody to come here to Anu and take a look at the Codex for yourself. And now to our next step, Israel. Din Mustafa from Ortz Hajur. Yuval Harel Nisim from the Moshe Sheretz Middle School in Kfar Saba. Oyan Leon from the Hatomer Elementary School in Nes Ziona. Orel Shitrit from the Interdisciplinary Campus for Sciences and Arts in Tirata Carmel. Shira Muzikant, from the Zev Jabotinsky Middle School in Herzliya. Lisa Milkman, from the Atid Joanna Jabotinsky School in Be'er Yaakov. Michael Levy, from the Hof HaSharon Regional School in Kibbutz Shfaim. Neta Beni, from the Gvanim School in Modi'in. Komel Segev, from the Magen Elementary School in Tel Aviv, Yafo. And now, in third place for Israel, Tamar Arnon, from the Ron Valdi Center for the Gifted in Lod. The Angel of the Kovna Ghetto. And now for second place from Israel, Meitav Levitsky, from the Atid Joanna Jabotinsky School in Be'er Yaakov, a mosaic of ethnicities. And for first place in Israel, get ready, Ella Chen, from the Zev Jabotinsky Middle School in Herzliya, Israel. Kol hakavod to Ella. For her project is called From Italy to Israel, From Christianity to Judaism. Thanks again to all of our students from Israel. Okay, we're almost at the end. Now we're heading on to our next stop. Are you ready? Take a look behind me at this amazing synagogue. Before I tell you, where do you think it's from? Go ahead and write in the chat. This synagogue was also founded by Sephardic Jews, just like our synagogue in Curacao, and once had a very famous visitor who promised them religious freedom. Can you guess which one it is? For those of you who said the Touro Synagogue in Rhode Island, USA, you got it. This synagogue was built in 1763, so it's actually older than the United States. In 1790, the first president of the United States, George Washington, actually visited the synagogue. If you look closely inside, you can see his portrait. Now let's look at the outside of the synagogue. Do you notice something strange about the way the road is built? The Touro Synagogue is actually built on an angle, not facing the road in the same way the other buildings are facing. What do you think it could be facing instead? The answer might be within your own synagogue as well. Yes, these Jews built their synagogue to face east towards Jerusalem, so they would face Jerusalem when they prayed. Is it the same where you are as well? This synagogue is still in use today, and you can still go and visit it. This brings us to our final set of My Family Story winning projects from English-speaking countries. You ready? From Kriego Schechtel Day School in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. Solomon Joseph Marciano from Gindi Maimonides, Los Angeles, California, USA. Sam Smiley from the North Suburban Synagogue, Bethel, Highland Park, Illinois, USA. Henry Frankel from Temple Sharei Tefillo, Israel, South Orange, New Jersey, USA. Leonidas Ezra from New York Hebrew, New York, USA. Noah Avichzer from the Hebrew Academy of Montreal, Canada. Avigail Ben Shmuel from the Netivot HaTorah Day School in Toronto, Canada. Yakira Savitsky from the Mount Scopus Memorial College in Melbourne, Australia. Thomas Corbin from the Kadima School, Auckland, New Zealand. Gia Zuckerman from the Yeshiva College, Johannesburg, South Africa. Yali Shapiro, King David Victory Park, Primary School, Johannesburg, South Africa. And in third place for English-speaking countries, get ready, Olivia Gaspar from Bialik College, Melbourne, Australia. Her project was called Generational Building Blocks. In second place for English-speaking countries, Zach Lurie from the King David Linksfield School, Johannesburg, South Africa. His project was called The Accordionist. And now for English-speaking countries. In first place for English-speaking countries,
Hello, my name is Nama. I'm the director of the Correct International School for Jewish Peoplehood at ANU, Museum of the Jewish People. Every year, my family story works are about making ourselves the bridge between our past, our family past, and the future we are responsible of creating. But this year specifically is a difficult one. The crisis of the Jewish people is happening in all of our hearts, Israelis and world Jewry alike. At this moment in time, the stories are a source of strength and resilience. We connect to the power of our ancestors. We learn from the times that they had to survive and thrive after, and we inherit their resilience and keep the story going. I'm proud to present our winning work by Talia Pressman, who is about her relative, Amiram Cooper, who was taken hostage by Hamas in the October 7th attack. On Monday night, we have heard that Amiram is no longer with us. Thanks to Talia's work, the story of Amiram can be shared, be told, and retold, and his light still exists with us thanks to the work we're about to see. We keep praying for the safe return of all of our hostages.
And in the first place for English-speaking countries is Talia Passman from Sinai Akiba Academy in Los Angeles, California, United States. Her project is called The Light at the End of the Tunnel. We Will Bloom Again.
Hi, my name is Talia Passman, and I am a 5th grade student at Sinai Akiba Academy, and I named my project The Light at the End of the Tunnel. We will bloom again, because generations of my family have lived through atrocities like pogroms in Ukraine and Poland, the Holocaust, the gulags, and now on October 7th in Israel, where Hamas kidnaps my great-uncle Amiram Cooper and his wife Nurit from their home in Kibbutz Nir Oz. Nurit was released after 17 days. As of this writing, Amiram is still being held hostage. 224 days. Amiram was a pioneer and helped build Nir Oz with his bare hands. He is a published poet, songwriter, and composer. If If you see these buttons, they play some of his songs. My project shows Amiram sitting in a moss tunnel all alone. On the inside of the tunnel, there are names of my family members who perished in the Holocaust. On the other side, there are names of the other hostages. The outside of the tunnel is like a big hug surrounding Amiram with pictures of our family history. It also features some of his poetry and writing. The red poppies grow right next to Kibbutz Nirot. I based it off of this picture of Nuri and Amiram. The flowers symbolize that our roots are strong and no matter what, we will always bloom. The tunnel is left open with the light at the end to represent no matter what horrific things the Jewish people face, we must always have hope that our light will never be dimmed. My biggest dream is for Amiram to come back home and to see this project display on the Honor Museum.
Thank you, Talia. It's important for me to point out that Talia was selected as the top winner for English-speaking countries over a month ago, which makes telling her story even more important right now. We at ANU send our deepest condolences to Talia's entire family and pray for the safe and quick return of all of the hostages. Kol hakavod to Talia, who for so beautifully and strongly capturing Aviram's story and light. Thank you again to all of our students from the English-speaking world. And Mazel Tov to all of the winners of My Family Story 2024. Woohoo! This year we received hundreds of student projects from around the world, which were all reviewed by an esteemed judging panel made up of Jewish professionals, artists, museum professionals, and more. Thank you to all of our judges for your time and care to review these countless works. Meital Nol, Yael Rosen, Rina Levin, Dr. David Barak-Grodetsky, Lali Aon, Debbie Suiza, Rebecca Gold, Dr. Avidan Milevsky, Cecilia Weissman, Michal Shachar, Asaf Gamzu, Irit Shapira Meir, Tal Goldstein Goshen, and Liat Lemel. Thank you to you all. As we've mentioned before, we know that this year is an incredibly difficult and different world here in the Jewish community in Israel and around the world. We at ANU thank the heroes of the IDF for protecting Israel, and we ask you all to join us in reciting a prayer for the IDF. Here at ANU, 5 of our colleagues have started in the Miluim, or the IDF reserves, in the last 8 months. I'm honored to introduce my colleague, Ilya Meinschluss, who just a few days ago returned from the IDF reserves. Ilya will now read the prayer for all.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ilya Meinschluss. I work at the ANU Museum as the director of My Family Story in Israel and in Eastern Europe. Since October 7th, I have served for 4 months in total in combat missions in the IDF, 2 months in the Gaza Strip, and another tour of nearly 2 months to the West Bank, from which I returned just last week. We, the My Family Story team, thought it is appropriate to end this amazing ceremony with a prayer for the health and well-being of the soldiers in the IDF. I will read this prayer in our mutual original language, Hebrew. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל, העומדים על משמר ארצנו וערי אלוהינו מגבול הלבנון ועד מדבר מצרים, ומן הים הגדול עד לבוא הערבה, ביבשה, באוויר ובים. ייתן אדוני את אויבינו הקמים עלינו ניגפים לפניהם. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו מכל צרה וצוקה, ומכל נגע ומחלה, וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם. ידבר שונאינו תחתיהם ויעטרם בכתר ישועה ובעטרת ניצחון. ויקוים בהם הכתוב, כי אדוני אלוהיכם ההולך עמכם להילחם לכם עם אויביכם להושיע אתכם. ונאמר אמן.
Thank you, Ilya. And that's a wrap for the 2024 My Family Story ceremony. Thank you for all of the hundreds of people who were here with us today, really incredible, and throughout the entire year. We look forward to working with you already, and for all of you teachers out there, we're already accepting registration for the upcoming school year, so go to our site. Now, as is tradition every year at the end of the ceremony, we ask all to rise for the singing of Hatikva, Israel's national anthem. Go ahead and please also open your cameras so we can see everybody who's singing Hatikva all at the same time across 5 different continents. 6 different continents. 6 different continents. On the screen will be Hatikva in 3 different languages. Thanks to everyone. Now, before we sign off, we'll ask everybody to open your cameras and wave to everybody. Again, like we said, there are 6 continents being represented here. We want to capture this moment. So open up your camera, whether you're at home or in the classroom. We want to see everybody. Do a wave for us. So for now, thank you to everybody. Goodbye and Shabbat Shalom.